Bearing a mindful heart, Tzu Chi volunteers help fire-affected residents clean up their house in Taoyuan. Education is the best way to prevent climbers from having accidents amongst mountaineering activities.
歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines，我係 Ruby 我哋一齊嚟睇下今日嘅內容。In Taoyuan's Bade district, a fire broke out during Lunar New Year. The affected residents were not able to clean their house. Therefore, 31 Tzu Chi volunteers were mobilized to help.
The walls of the house are scorched black and the electricity has been cut off. There is also lots of waste materials to be cleaned.
The number of affected residents is very little and the place is very messy. They do not know where to start cleaning. The sisters are in charge of cleaning and forming a human transportation line. Most of the heavy works are done by the brothers.
Male volunteers are in charge of moving the large furniture. As they have previous experience cleaning up, a few of the volunteers have put on waist protection, as it is important to care for oneself before caring for others.
For our body, we need to constantly move about. We need to do work. If we don't and remain still, then our bones and muscles will become stiff.
While cleaning the scene, the lighting is dim and they might even need to work in the dark. Boots and gloves are the standard items needed. For the items waiting to be discarded, volunteers are still mindful in checking them over.
There might be nails protruding out. We need to lock them flat, so when the brothers come over to move them away, their hands won't get pricked by the nails.
Tzu Chi volunteers are their neighbors and there's no need to assist the needy far away. Caring for the community is actually the best thing for the volunteers.
Tzu Chi volunteers also went to Yilan to help clean up a fire scene which is a 3-story residence. 35 volunteers worked in relay to clear out 3 trucks of burnt items. They also presented blankets and condolence items to comfort the disadvantaged family.
After the fire, the 3-story residence is like ruins. How to clean it up worries the village head.
This family is relatively disadvantaged and all members are physically or mentally disabled. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for coming here to help. Thank you.
Without electricity, the fire scene was dark and with a burning smell. After sparkling with water, all the debris were doubled in weight. 35 volunteers worked in relay to remove all the heavy items. Women worked like men and men were like Superman. They were responsible for dismantling, dragging and throwing away items, finally carrying out 3 large trucks of waste, revealing the original appearance of the house. The village head was finally relieved. Volunteers presented blankets and condolences items and also promised to come again to care the family.
In the Philippines, it is reported that 30% of the children under the age of 5 are malnourished. Tzu Chi has launched a nutrition program since last year with the help of its scholarship recipients who distributed Jing Si multigrain powder to impoverished children.
Do you know, the boy in the picture is actually the elder brother. Elder brother Romaik is 6 years old this year. He only weighs 9 kilograms and is 89 centimeters tall. His sister, who is 2 years younger, is already 100 centimeters tall and weighs 15 kilograms. Romaik was a premature baby, and due to long-term malnutrition, his development is stunted.
We're unable to provide him with sufficient food, which caused him to be malnourished. My husband is only a laborer, so his income is not very stable.
His mother feels very sorry for her kids, but she's unable to do anything. She has kidney stones, and it's hard for her to find a job. In the Philippines, 30% of the children are suffering from hunger and malnutrition daily. And with the pandemic, the situation has become even worse. Tzu Chi volunteers in Bohol Island enacted the nutrition program with the help of scholarship recipients. Each are given 4 packs of Jing Si multigrain powder monthly, which they will then distribute them to the children in the community.
When I was feeding him, his eyes were glowing with happiness and hope. This truly makes me happy.
pero mas makayon ko na naapoy mas pobre bitaw na mo then agad.
After the nutrition program was enacted, the results were very clear. After 1 month, the weight of the children increased by 0.5 to 1 kilogram. Smiles can also be seen on their faces once again.
In Penang, Malaysia, there's an NGO called Kawan Center, which carry out regular food distributions for the homeless. Since the implementation of the movement control order, the center has been distributing food every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The number of people who head over to receive the food aid has also increased from 100 to 250. Here's more.
During the movement control order, in some states in Malaysia, such as Sarawak and Kuala Lumpur, the number of homeless people have increased. Many NGOs have also distributed food for this group of people during MCO, solving their meal issues, and Kawan Center is one of them. Since the implementation of the movement control order last year, the Kawan Center has prepared food to be distributed every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They'll then distribute them at the alley behind their center on noon. The center was established in 2006, and Ed, who was once a volunteer, became the coordinator in 2012.
We saw so many people struggling on the streets, struggling to survive. Homelessness, it can be a bit of a gray area. There are many people that maybe have a place to stay, but they don't get along, and maybe because of the addiction or whatever, they cannot really stay there.
Over the years, the center has provided the homeless a place to rest and wash up. At the same time, they even try to find job opportunities for them. Sometimes, they even send the addicts to a rehab.
A lot of the people that come here, they have been facing rejection. Here we want to love them, listen to their story, and that's what people need. Of course, we are happy when we see people finding a good job, finding a good life.
Sometimes they will tell us their problems because they are unable to do so back at home, so we are like their friends.
Due to the pandemic, the center has been shut down from the public since last year. However, the volunteers still insist on providing food for the homeless. Due to the bad economy, the number of people coming to collect the lunch boxes increased from 100 to 250.
The whole COVID pandemic changed everything. We just do it outside. We give takeaways to the people. Even that has not been easy because hey, you want to follow the SOP, and when suddenly more than 100 people are waiting in front of your door asking for food. So we have been trying to adjust the system to get better.
The hot lunch boxes have enabled the homeless to feel the warmth of society. It has also enabled some of the local residents solve their problems for a meal.
My husband is working odd jobs, so there is only income when he works. I just came here to collect the flood last month. Being able to save one meal is also very helpful.
Most of us used to experience a life change. If I can change, other people can change. We want to get better in helping. I want to get better in loving people. If we are not needed anymore, if we can close this place, that would be very good. If there are no more people struggling, and then we can close, that would be the success.
If you come into contact with a homeless person, you may contact your local social welfare department so that they can receive the necessary assistance. Here's to hoping that the homeless can say goodbye to their uncertain life, overcoming their obstacle and find a new life.
Also in Penang, Komta Tower is actually home to a lot of homeless people because of the bus terminal underneath. However, due to the spread of COVID-19, the homeless on the streets may be a loophole where the virus can spread rapidly. Thus, the government is planning to build a shelter to give the homeless a place to stay and opportunities to work.
There's a bathroom here, and one across from here. Over there is another one. I'll see which has less people and I'll use that one. Anyone can use the public toilets, but sometimes I'll get kicked out because you can't use it to clean up yourself.
Wandering the streets to find a public restroom to clean up, resting on a cardboard mattress when tired, waiting for handouts of food. All of these activities are the norm for a homeless person in Penang.
My family doesn't know I'm sleeping on the street, but it's safer here because if anything happens, the hospital is nearby. The bus stop is clean. but we are worried that sometimes the social welfare department will come for us because it's not a place you can sleep.
Every city has homeless, but in Penang, hometown area, one thing very particular about them. Each and every one of them have a story to tell. Family problems, drug addict problems, social eviction problems, and some of them ex-convicts. You even have people who come from other states to seek the economic fortune in Penang, and they don't rent rooms, house, but they stay in hometown.
Underneath Kumtar Tower in Penang is a major bus terminal. Since it's a huge intersection for transportation and also many kind-hearted people will visit to hand out food, automatically the terminal became a place where many homeless people gather.
So when you're talking about homeless people who are not able to even take care of the 3 meals or proper to sleep, they cannot take care of the hygiene, then it becomes a health issue. And health issue will bring everybody down, like COVID-19. Now they're staying at the bus stop where all the people from all places are coming. The question is, what if that when people come and if they brought the disease and these people got the disease, how do we rectify?
This is why the Penang government has begun plans to build a homeless shelter. It will be able to house 74 people with separate places for men as well as women and the disabled. Construction plans will begin in October this year with January of next year for estimated operation. The shelter will also have medical facilities and resting zones, as well as it being handicapped friendly. It will also be a place to provide support and work opportunities for the homeless. Each homeless person has a past, but no matter what their background is, we can still treat each how we want to be treated so that society may be warmer for it.
More people are hiking mountains in Taiwan for recreation. This rapid increase in visitors has also led to more accidents. Take Hualien County as an example. In 2020, the Fire Bureau reported double the number of incidents and triple the number of violations. Many hope that educating climbers is the best way to prevent accidents amongst mountaineering activities.
In 2019, the government announced it would relax its forest policy, allowing access to 81 forest roads in Taiwan, encouraging people to enjoy the mountains and forests. The impact of COVID-19 in 2020 meant more domestic tourism. Taroko National Park has applications for admission increased by more than 30%.
In 2020, the number of applicants for admission to parks was probably more than 110,000. Compared to 2019, it was about 80,000, which is a growth of more than 30%.
The increase in the number of people is accompanied by more mountaineering accidents, which have also increased significantly.
In 2020, there were about 92 cases and about 40 cases in 2019, which is approximately double the amount.
It can be roughly divided into 2 types of accidents. One is external injury and related problems, and the second is an internal medicine problem, including attitude sickness and those with original illnesses that are worsened by the situation.
The high mountain range where Hualien County Fire Department is located extends from Taroko Peifang to Hehuanshan Song Xue Lo, which is a county boundary with Taichung and Nantou.
In 2019, we only had 38 mountaineering accidents, but by 2020, there are 74 in total, which is a growth by more than double. This has put a squeeze on our disaster relief and rescue resources.
In Taroko National Park, Pingfang Mountain, in just half a year, there were 4 accidents where people fell into the valley. By the end of February 2021, a search and rescue for a 39-year-old found the remains of a male mountain climber. The rescue team spent 12 hours and a total of 18 people were dispatched.
To reach the accident site, it often takes 5 to 6 days. Firefighting manpower and equipment are divided into several levels to be able to reach the location of the accident.
到达一个事故的地点。
山上它又是属于一种
On the mountain, there can be some unstable terrain, and sometimes you have to go down from above, and there can be falling rocks, causing a slippery feeling of stepping on falling rocks, which can make the body and mind feel very scared. When we receive notification of a mountain accident occurring and it's time to depart, we usually will carry this bag of equipment, which weighs about 20 kilograms.
20公斤左右。
Basically, our team members do the so-called physical training every day. Whether it's running or weight training or plants, we basically have to do the training by ourselves. Otherwise, when carrying out the mountain disaster, our stamina won't be able to sustain the rescue.
Professionalism, along with full training, means these firefighters are all aware of the dangers of the mountains. While many are in awe of the mountains, people who want to climb these peaks should all be very ready and prepared.
Society wishes to bring hope to talented people. In the Ray of Hope series, we introduce these academically excellent students from Malaysia, Chen Hongwei, to you. He was once a News Scholarship recipient. Yet, after graduating from middle school, he considered working in order to help his family. Upon hearing the news, Tzu Chi volunteers encouraged him to apply for Taiwan Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, becoming the first full scholarship recipient studying in university.
"我叫陈康伟，我来自马来西亚。然后我们那边最
The most famous landmark in Malaysia is the Petronas Twin Towers. We also have many cultural cuisines.
我家里有我爸爸妈妈和我，因为我是独生子。
In my family, I have a father and mother, and because I'm their only son, my father's the only one working. His income can pay for our family's expenses, therefore I never considered going to college. After graduating from secondary school, I decided to work at places where education levels didn't matter. As long as I can help my family, I'm willing to do my best.
肯帮到家里的经济，我都愿意。 因为我在中学的时候有申请那一个。
Because when I was in middle school, I applied for the New Shoot Scholarship Program from Tzu Chi. One day, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters told me that at Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter, TCUST sent people in for admissions.
慈济科技大学来招生，过后我们就去了。
After going to the event, I met another Tzu Chi sister. She told me that she would help me in applying for TCUST scholarship.
直接全免的奖学金，过后我就来了这里。
2012年，当年慈济启动了新芽助学金计划。因为康伟
In 2012, when Tzu Chi started the New Shoe Scholarship Program, and Hong Wai was the scholarship recipient. In 2016, when he was a sophomore in high school, he applied for TCUST, our chapter, after considering his family situation. He is also a person of good merit and grades. With these elements in play, he became the first student to receive full scholarship from the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter to study at TCUST.
康伟成功的获得我们雪隆分会第一个全免的保送生。
我来到这里，我学到了主要都是科管系的课程。
When I came here, I learned mostly about information technology and management. For example, basic coding, web design, and multimedia. In my department, there is also VR, AR, artificial intelligence, data analysis. These are trending technologies.
的东西，然后全部都是未来的科技的趋势。
使用的时候，其实可以去做各种语言的一个设定。
他参与的第一个产学是我跟花莲的在地的一个名产店。
His first major project involved our department and a local souvenir shop in Hualien. It was about developing a robot that helps sell souvenirs.
人形机器人在2-3年前，它算是一个蛮新的一个东西。
We used a Japanese robot which was quite new 2 or 3 years ago. Chen Hongwai was a sophomore, so he followed senior students in the project. They spent 2 to 3 weeks doing this. They also had to come to school every night during that time. At last, we have successfully concluded the project.
进行这个产学案。
那最后我们也是蛮顺利的把这一个案子把它完成。
我首先先要感谢学校给的这个奖助学金。
First of all, I would like to thank TCUST for the scholarship, so that I can study here and learn more about technology. I hope that I can study harder and bring my knowledge back to Malaysia. While benefiting my family, I would also like to help improve the lives of Malaysian people and the technology industry.
科技领域的方面的东西，有造福人民。
Tzu Chi's love and care continued in multi-and tribal village in Hualien. In order to bring world's knowledge to the children in the tribe, Tzu Chi was together with a local care point to set up a reading room for the children to develop a good reading habit.
Students from MLPS use energetic dances in order to celebrate the establishment of the Matas reading room.
We hope that every child may have a good reading environment and develop the habit of reading. With this, they are already ahead in life.
It is the first time for children to listen to volunteers read out stories. Matas in Truku means to read. This place is originally for storage. Now it has become a reading room so as to encourage children to read more.
I hope they read more, and when they are with their friends, they can be inspired by books and act more quick actively.
Through reading, I acquire wisdom. I can also develop a good reading habit.
To broaden children's horizons by reading, it is planned to have volunteers accompany children read every Monday to Friday, hoping to bring more love and care to children in remote regions.
In Taoyuan, 350 Tzu Chi volunteers went to Jing Si Hall to learn how to teach children in various community courses, hoping to nurture our next generation.
我数到3的时候，你就跟你旁边的人开始拇指摔跤咯。1、2、3，开始。啊，输也没有关系，没有关系啊。你应该要让你的孩子是这个感觉。
Learning to accept defeat is far more important than learning how to win. Participant and teacher Huang Yiwen thinks that education should not solely focus on good grades.
We teach them manners and hygiene, because in classroom support for new students, we hope to teach children on how to be a good person. This is far more important than good grades.
Normally in our classes, we teach children one-on-one. Every child has different needs. And through today's event, we furthered our understanding on how to get closer with students. We will help them grow.
Tzu Chi established parent-child classes, basketball teams, Tzu Shaos, and other groups in multiple communities, hoping to nurture our next generation.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Paraguay distributed supplies to 43 Tzu Chi care recipients according to their needs, including food, rental subsidies, medicine, and milk formula. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.